How you doing? I don't have a clue for live. If we are, just stand by. Colin's doing all the magic things, so I can see what's going on. Hey, okay, we did it. We're up. That's strange.
It's a lag time.
Eric? Hey, we got one of the moderators. We trying to get Nikki. Nikki, next we're gonna have to get you next time. For some reason, my password's been changed, and Colin needs my help on the laptop. That's a rare thing. How you doing, Eric? Robert? Robert Androli's been here a long time. Tin Man. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. The dose for the show, man. That was nice. That was really nice. Coffee. Boy, it's a good thing because I was getting low. I'm gonna have to make a run and get me some coffee somewhere. But call on babysat. How you been, Nick? Good, I hope. Nick's a crazy bugger. He does a lot of. He likes the saws of the bikes. You just need to know that. England, right, Nick? Is that it? England, Ireland. Jason, hi. BFP Workshop. How you doing? I've seen you in the comments. I'm a hero. I'm his hero. We'll have to have you over for a few days to play around in the shop with us. We play with some unusual things. Yeah, that's what I thought, Ireland. We have a lot of people from overseas. Germany, Norway, Sweden. Believe it or not, Ukraine. Barb's good, Desert Hobo. A lot of doctor running, but it, when you got them high mileage cars, there's always a lot of maintenance to keep them going and ticking right?
Just like with people.
Yeah, I'm the same way. This diabetes thing. Jamie barking spiders. Thanks, man. I want you to know this helps. I didn't go live for the money. But I'm going to tell you what. If we start doing this once a week or once every couple weeks, what's going to happen is we need an end mill. We need a milling machine. We have a little lathe here, precision lathe. I have projects coming up that require a milling machine straight away. They really do. Joseph Grant from Wisconsin. Tim. Hey, Tim. Is the ground froze up your way yet? It started to here. He's just north of us, about an hour. I want to tell you about Tim Barden, guys. He's a logger. And this is all he's ever known is logging. We went and rode dirt bikes, motocross bikes that we got over Tall Pines. Tim and his son came down. Good. Oh, his son's smart. And we had problems with one of the bikes, and he managed to get the darn thing going. But Tim was farting around in one of the play areas. He landed on a field of boulders. Boom, bike went flipping. Anybody else had just laid there. Nope, not Tim. Gets right up, didn't even worry, jumped right on the bike, right in the middle of the boulder pile, and rides it out of there. Didn't you, Tim? Mad respect. Loggers are tough, man. I used to be a logger. I'm not as good of a logger as I used to be. I still could do it. Rusty Shank. How you doing? Yeah, I want one. Jamie, that was so appreciated. It really was. Eric, did you see that? Tim, he's tough. A tough man. Yeah, I got Tin Man. I'm glad you're watching, Tin Man. I really am. I appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. Woodhound. You're from near Watkins Glen. That's where Tim Barton's from. I'm going to miss some of you, and I know it. Vintage Engine Repairs. Watching from Australia. I love the logo on that. Not doing much logging yet, are you? You gotta go out there in the mud and just try to make a living. But I'm gonna tell you guys, here in the Northeast, when that ground freezes, we're wide freaking open. Right up till it hits 0. And then we have to stop there for 2-3 weeks. We used to keep going. We found out we broke stuff. Steve Wrightington from Fall River, Mass. How you doing, Steve? Charlie. Charlie's my friend. I got a neat little thing for Charlie. Hey, grab that box over there. If you can find it. That's got that thing in it.
What?
We're going to try to show that to you, Charlie.
What?
That sonic cleaner. It's in a box over there. Bear with me, guys. It's under the shelf, right behind that other saw on the bottom shelf. Okay. I want to show Charlie what he's getting. Yeah, Nick. Charlie does some good stuff, don't he? Only thing he don't show is his face. But he shows his work. Good and bad. Tasman. How you doing, my friend? Tasman goes live mostly Saturdays outdoors. Crazy bugger. Tasman was my 10,000th subscriber, believe it or not. Yeah, if we can grab this little thing, this cutter, and open it. If you're still here, Charlie, I'll show you what. We're going to send something to Charlie because a couple times Charlie's just sent me things right out of the blue. You know, I was mentioned I needed. Well, we're going to send something to Charlie. Here's where we're going to send to you, Charlie. Right here. Sonic cleaner. A big one. You can't put a small block Chevy in it, but you can put some parts. I'll tell you, these ones are nice.
It's got a fryer.
Now, if you notice, this isn't digital. This is analog. Yeah. You give me them freaking knobs every day.
If you want to fry French fries, hey.
You can make French fries in it. You got it. We'll be sending it out next few days. Okay, I got to catch you back up. Michael McGuire, howdy from Phoenix. All right, how you doing, Mike? Glad you're here. Yeah, Eric's in the comments. Yeah, his skidder, you know, I'll tell you something about them old Timberjacks. His has got a problem. It wants to go and doesn't want to stop. Little clutch things. Clutch stuck up.
Hey, Tasman, how's it going, buddy?
Cohen's in the house.
In the house.
Say hello, Cohen.
Hello, Colin.
I've seen that coming a mile away.
Yeah, I do that every time.
Oh, yeah, Tim. Hunting season. I remember that. Hey, let me tell you something about what happened to me one year.
They don't want a story. You don't.
We was on a log job, and the guy didn't hunt, and he said, I don't give a... He said, we're going to be some people hunting over the property next door, which I own, but they're not going to be over here. I already warned them. Okay, good. It's rare to get a log job in hunting season, you know. And we rolling, boy. I mean, we was getting 3 tracks loads a freaking day, average. I'm going along, everything's fine. The skidder operator had twisted his ankle, and he sprained it real bad. And I says, well, you know, go sit on a stump. I'll grab these last 2 hitches for the day, and we'll just go on home a little early. And I get up in the skidder. It was a 240 jack, by the way. They got a ROPS post right here behind your ear, part of the cage. All of a sudden, this something just went splat. It rang that cage like you'd never believe. It was a 12-gauge slug. Yeah, it was. 2 inches from my freaking head. You realize 5 seconds earlier I wouldn't be here because the way you climb up, I would have been right in the way. So, what's the time difference between being alive and not? For me, 5 seconds. That's it right there. Rusty, you got it in, huh? 18%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. A lot of our people around here don't pick their corn. If they're picking it, they don't pick it until December. Graham Proctor, been messing around with Mini Max. Any thoughts? Okay.
Thanks, Kurt, for reminding about the thumbs up. That always helps. It's appreciated. It works for the good for the algorithm.
Matt, them Mini Max, if you're trying to get something done, that ain't what you want. But I'm going to tell you what, in today's world, they're kind of a hoot. Straight away. Tim wants some stories. We'll get into some stories. I've got an awful lot that I want to show you guys.
He's only got a couple stories, guys. You got
to... I could tell stories for freaking 2 weeks straight. I'd probably be hoarse, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Chad Henwoods, chainsaws, woodworking, boat racing. Hey, y'all. Boy, you sound like you have more fun than me some days. Shore Sharp, thanks for being here. Kurt Steele. How you doing, Kurt? I love the stories, too. If you like hearing them, I like telling them straight away. I really do. Northwoods. How you doing? The Northwoods. I think he's got his own channel. You got a channel, right? I think I've seen it. There's a channel with a similar name anyways. Oh, sweet corn. Okay. I got you, BFP Workshop. Jason Reese, you just opened up a story, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, how did you get the nickname Iron Horse? Now, you know I'm computer illiterate, right? You ought to seen me 5 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. I was the only person on the block with a freaking cell phone that had rotary dial on it. All right. I'm just letting you know that.
Had to spin it up with a crank.
Okay. We had a band. Rock band. Did classic rock. Got into some pretty progressive stuff. Hard rock, you know. Jack Pine Savage Repair. Thank you so much. I'm going to show you guys things that younger guys wouldn't show. Okay? I am. And some of it you're going to see today.
Name.
Broccoli cheddar. But Jack Pine, I want you to know, that's that much closer to me having a mill here. Once I get a mill, we're going to really blow things up.
Band name.
Okay, band name. Iron Horse. We wanted to get into this pretty top shelf club. You know what they required?
Kind of snobby, if you really.
They were a little snobby.
Yeah.
And we didn't care. We know we was pretty good. And we was pretty good. Well, and we was loud. Just letting you know that.
All mono, analog.
Oh, at the time, we was all analog. All analog. And boy, I tell you.
A lot of wires, baby.
Yeah, it was. That snake was incredible, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they said, wait, do you have something on YouTube that we can watch, you know, because we're not going to sit there and, you know, if you don't have a presence on YouTube, we can watch a music video. Well, what do you do? Okay, so we had to create an account for me in the whole 9 yards, Iron Horse, and because that's the band name, so that they could watch the video. Of course, they picked the phone right up and they called us. They wanted us in there. And then they wanted to know the price. Well, you know what? You should have negotiated that first. But once I decided that we didn't want to play there, that cost you, didn't it? Mm-hmm. That's what that was all about.
We went through one of those apps, like free band maker names, right? Some of the stuff it was coming up with was just like insane. They would take one random word, match it with another random word.
So we did Iron Horse. Okay, because we created a YouTube account so that people with better clubs could watch music videos under the Iron Horse. This is where it's at. Why change it? It works. Because everybody starts calling the Iron Horse. You know, for about 6 months, somebody called me Iron Horse. I was like, who dat?
Who dat?
Yeah, who dat? Now, if I go uptown and I'm wearing bib overalls, you know, and gimping, half the time somebody collars me and wants to shake my hand and stuff. Chad Henwood, get into it. I'm going to tell you something. Porting ain't as bad as you think. Walk softly at first, guys, if you're getting into porting. I've done, for 3 years, I've done solid porting videos with safe information. Okay? Where you start. Guess what? I'm going to still do that. Anytime we get something interesting that, you know, haven't showed in a long time, but now it's going to be the crazy stuff. You guys have seen the 372s that I've been building. Buckin's got an 86. But you know, with the dirt bikes, you know what that is? That's a reed box for reeds.
Yeah, see, everybody wondered.
What's that? Kurt, you bring that bugger along. We have Colin has a 1986 CR500. Everybody knows I got the Mako 500. This is the reeds. Okay, that's not a little box, you know, like that. Here is a 395 carburetor, so it gives you the idea of the size of the reed box. I might as well
way bigger than that carb, isn't it?
Here's what I got going on, guys. Now, you know I'm doing big bores, 56, 58 millimeter stuff.
Some of you are going to cringe when you see this.
You're going to cringe. I had to cut this whole area out. See that hole down here? I'm going to case feed these. We don't need the intake anymore. Get rid of that intake. Put this reed box right there. I got to build a little manifold under there. You see how easy that is? I got a perfect way to bolt that in there and seal that. You know what's way cool about that? Let me turn you down just a minute. From that position, I got to cut that package tray that goes under the carburetor off quite a ways, but the most of the back will stay. All I got to do is build the top manifold. That carburetor is going to stick in the stock location on this. Case fed reeds is where it's at, guys. Graham, thank you. Shop equipment. It's going in the fund for a milling machine. And I mean it. I appreciate it.
You wait and see what we make with that sucker. It'll be crazy.
Chad Henwood's chainsaws, woodworking, bow racing. He said doesn't have the cutting tools yet. I'll tell you what is good. You can start with a Dremel, a $50 Dremel, and have everything you need to start. And once you do it and you realize you want to do it, go spend a few $100s and buy a Fordham. The Fordham is a good bargain. It really is. Yay! Hey, how do I get a hold of you? It's Yank Doodle.
How you been, buddy?
Nate, I'm looking for a smaller one that's 220 is fine. I don't want a 3-phase. I'd like something that I could do 6-8 inch on my Traverse, in and out. Sideways, they'll all go as far as I need. We need something that'll machine something about that big around. I'd love to have a big one, but I just soon have a small one, believe me. Yes, Yank, I do know. Trevor 9761. How you been?
Nick Pixel on there.
Nick. How you doing? I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, buddy.
I ate too much.
Todd Adams, I'm going to agree with this guy. Hit that like button. If you forgot and you want to, hit that like button. You know what I like about this whole setup? Colin's got this crazy setup. I'm on a big screen TV reading comments because my eyes are kind of screwy. And I am not having any trouble. J&S Chainsaw, how you doing? Trevor 9671, still waiting for my clutch spring from our old 281. Yeah, that could be a problem. Mackenzie Sibley says, wish I wasn't driving tractor trailer truck. He says, hi, everybody. He told me to have a good day. You too. Have a good day.
Thanks for what you do, brother.
Yep. Keep that fuel in them
It's
tanks.
important.
Wayne the Duke Lamont. Hi, buddy. Slacks. You like that saw Charlie built you? He's doing good, isn't he? Hey, Slacks, I want to talk to you about something. You really seriously got something going on with climbing and making them videos. And I think I'm subscribed to you, ain't I? Guess what? That's important. Do more recording. Put them videos out. People like that. Show them your gear.
Yeah, they do.
Cook them with Rabansk. Rotary valve intakes. We want to talk about them today, or don't we? We might just as well, hadn't we? Okay. This is reeds. What the advantage to reeds are is it's nice to increase your intake opening, make it earlier, but when you do it, it also closes later. You get spit back if you go too far. Reeds stop that. Mark Gaines from Northern Ireland.
I'd love to go to Ireland.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Mark. Rotary valve. I have a very nice, thanks to my friend Eric Nelson, 1999 Skidoo MXZ 670 HO. That's got a rotary valve. Okay, 2 carburetors, 2 cylinders, and it's just a plate that spins that controls when it opens, when it closes. It's great stuff. Rotary valves, for me, are better than reeds. It really is. But to put it on a chainsaw, you know.
Tim.
Tim, I'd never, ever tell what happened over there when we was riding together. That he did. Tim got yelled at. Yeah.
He's a crazy man.
Bad
You're
Tim.
naughty.
Danish Nitro RC. Hello from Copenhagen. Nice to have you here. It's very nice to have you here. Believe it or not, I used to build some RC motors. They're 2-stroke. They run nitromethane. Yank, buddy, you didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Do you have my email? I've got a terrible time with email. Do you have my cell phone or home phone number? Call me in the morning if you can. I got something for you. Eric, you said it right. Tim's a freaking maniac. We're going to have Tim on the channel more. Jack Pine Savage Repair. Howdy from northern Minnesota. Y'all have a wonderful day. Jack, you too, man.
Bet it's cold up there right now.
Yeah. Moonshine. Hey, I love that. I like his thumbnail. Hi, guys. Just wanted to thank you, Arv. You and Buckin inspired me to start messing with chainsaws.
That's the whole point.
It's our way of life. They're just a tool. Boy, are they a fun tool. They really are. Chris Davis, love the channel. Recently acquired 272 XP. First complete saw rebuild and port. You're not going to have any trouble. The only thing I can give you some good advice, you have an intake block and you have 2 gaskets on each side of it. One that goes on the carb, you know how that works. Don't mess around with any of the aftermarket. Go get OEM gaskets. I will promise you, if you don't.
It's a hard lesson learned there.
Try my email. Like I said, I'm having lots and lots of problems.
Eric can get them through WhatsApp to you too.
Yeah. Okay.
Eric and
IronHorseChainsaw@gmail.com. Fab Acres. Them Rotex 670s. Let me tell you something. What was that Logan got? 800 or 700?
It was a 700 Polaris.
Polaris 700.
He's awfully proud of it.
Pretty proud of it.
He likes to do the dirt drags on those.
Yeah. My poor antique fat butt freaking beat him in the whole shop bad. He didn't like that.
We went riding last time.
He got mad at me.
I rode your snowmobile because mine was down. I had no trouble keeping up with him on that. That 670's got a little bit of work to it.
Eat them 700s.
Yeah.
The newer ones, it'll eat it. And we haven't even worked on it yet.
No, we haven't done nothing to it.
But we're going to. Kurt, this is what we're here for. This is what Tin Man and I do. We're here to help people. We really are. Serbia, we can try better. Neat, Polka Bolsey, I messed it all up. I'm sorry, buddy, but I gave it a good shot, didn't I?
Yeah.
He says, wish you all the best for Old School Master, Harv. God bless you. Same to you. It's a crazy world we live in, friend. We all bleed the same color, don't we? The 2-stroke rebuilder. I came for 2-stroke secrets. Okay. What do you want to know about? What's the secret you want to know? There's a bunch of them. They're not secrets. It's been 2-stroke information has been solid gold for 40 years.
You want to know 2-stroke secrets? Look at dirt bikes and put it on a chainsaw.
Look at dirt bikes and snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And what you see there, put it in your dirt. Put it right in your freaking chainsaw. You'll be surprised what you can do. Dan Kerfman, he says he can't find any big saws. Where he lives are all 50cc. Okay, Dan. Just joined 2 of them 180 degrees out. You got a 100cc saw. No, that's not as easy as that, is it?
Yeah.
I said eBay.
Yeah.
eBay. Trevor 9671, he says, how much is too much compression? My grandpa had a piston put in back in the 90s. If you don't have a hold of it, you'd knock yourself out. I haven't put a compression tester on it yet. You know what? There is a point the compression goes against you in a chainsaw, just like it does in dirt bikes. There is a point it goes against you. Stop right about 200 pounds as far as I'm concerned, because I want to be able to start the darn thing.
If you have to run a steel cable just to pull it over, it might be too much.
Tim, buddy, he thinks he's going to wear me out. You might, just might.
He's a high-speed, low-drag individual, I'll tell you that.
I just drag lower days, too. Yep. Oh, Eric's got it right. He says he could talk all day. I talk all day. But we really, 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 really have got some neat stuff coming up. JJM was talking about twins. He says, are you able to make that Homelite twin? Hey, guess what? I got enough of these stupid projects tore apart and half done. That's why I'm freaking slower than death. But I decided something. Why should we stop at twins? Let's make a triple. That's where I need a milling machine, buddy. I know exactly what I'm talking to, two-stroke rebuilder. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, he used to ride motocross. He got messed up pretty bad. Two-stroker builder dead. We need to talk about that 490 motor. I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm not going to all winter, but I'm very interested in that. I think I got a good motor to start with, believe me. Neil C. Hello from Belgium. Hi. Haas Steinley. Did I say that wrong? I probably did. Hello from Canada. Got a lot of Canadians here watching.
Hey.
Cooking with Rabans. Okay, he wants to know, this is important. Where do I start switching to higher octane?
Good question.
Quite honestly, I feel that you can get 91, 92, 94 octane gas will carry you up to about 185, 190. After that, start thinking about 100. Once you get to 225, run 110. Yeah, the panels.
There's Jesse there.
Oh, this is Jesse, Eric. I don't know. Oh, she liking
I
this.
don't know how she got there.
This stove's hot. You got a Super 2, John Black? Maybe if we get one more, we'll make freaking 4-cylinder. I think that'd be a riot. Email me at ironhorsechainsaw@gmail.com, John. Let's talk about this. Dirt Road Landing. He's been here a while. How you been, buddy? I'm trying to look around my own darn camera.
146.
Hey, that's pretty good because I never go live. Okay, I want to show you guys something more. Give me just a minute.
Make sure we get some legs going in here. Little leg spike here. Oh, what's that?
We have a box to open.
Uh-oh.
From some, what's that say, Bodie? From a Bodie guy. I know exactly what it is.
I think I know somebody by the name.
Novice Lumberjack. A lot of you probably watch what he does. Okay, it's blue. Oh, we got it out. Now that I made a mess. Yeah, Nick, he's a good guy. He talks like it is, man. He'll tell you to go fart on yourself, too. He don't care. Dirt Road Landing, you're right. I went to the second buckle stock. I wasn't ready for it. It was wonderful. Really was. Josh Cohen. Hey, mate. Hope you're doing well from Australia. Josh, things are settling in. Here's what we got.
What a beauty.
This is the Holtzforma G395. He asked me to build this for him, and I'm going to. I figure if he's sick enough to send it to me, I'm sick enough to build it. Camulus made fantastic knives. I think they were 2 hours from us. Yeah, they went out of business. I have a Camulus knife that was issued in World War II. It was one of my uncles. A Camulus fighting knife. Some of you guys probably seen them. Still have it. This is going to be an interesting build, quite honestly, guys. Okay, here's what's going on. You want to know what we're doing, don't you? It has to be, this is for Clone Wars. For Sawfest. It has to be aftermarket. It has to be aftermarket. I'm building this all aftermarket. You notice I didn't say all old Forma. No. There's things we're doing. I don't know if any of you are interested in all the craziness all in one day. Now, as you know, Dino Joe is boring me cylinders, 390 cylinder, 56 millimeter. I'm going to tell you something. Now, this happens to be a steel 66 Magnum piston. Okay? That's 56 millimeter because that's the big bore. Okay? Something interesting. This is a 661. Now, they are 56 millimeter. That's two of the choices I use. 4x372 builds. They have the 11 millimeter wrist pin. It makes it a no-brainer to put them in the 372s. See what I mean? Yeah, it's highway stuff. Highway. All right. This is a special build. We're built a disc piston for Odie horses saw, which we have to get back to finishing that. It's one of the few saws that ain't tore apart that I want to work on. Wayne, the Duke Lamont. Thanks for stopping in, Wayne. I mean it. I really appreciate that. Oh, Buckenstock 2 was fantastic. Dirt road landing. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so here's the deal. You can if you can figure out how to put one of these 390 cylinders on, you have two different pin positions. See that? The pin is closer in a 66 Magnum piston to the top of it than it is from this one. Well, as you know, you can trim a little off in your lathe to get your compression height. So these two pistons are really good. Okay, I have one cylinder at Dino Joe's. He's doing it 58 millimeter. So expect something big coming up. See them windows? That's for reeds. I like big bores. But that ain't for chainsaw. This is CR500, guys. Honda CR500. I heat treat these. I deburr them, blend everything, and heat treat them. And they do great. It depends on what year Buckenstock, where it's going to be. I haven't heard anything for next year just yet. Jeffrey Helm. How you doing, Jeffrey? Eric says, that's my new piston. Hey, you never know. John Black, that's the way I am on other people's channels. I just enjoy watching a lot of you guys that have channels. I don't ever say much. Harvey's from Mars. Yeah, I know what you're referring to. Men are from Mars. I'm from Mars. Smitty's Chainsaws. How you doing, Smitty? If you haven't checked Smitty's channel out, do it. Smitty's Chainsaws is getting quite good at the home lights. It's been a long journey, isn't it, Smitty? Okay. Two-stroke rebuilder says the bigger the piston you go, the smaller the transfers get. Not necessarily. Here's the deal. This is no joke. The 390 transfers are longer, but not as wide this way. This is 56 millimeter sleeve. See how much room I got there? At 58 millimeters, that's gone. All but a little bit. We're going to take the rest of it out, though. Joe's going to do that for me when he gets that sleeve out. We'll just cut them pieces out. We'll actually end up with bigger transfers. Okay? These ain't like dirt bikes. Dirt bikes are massive.
Monster.
You can't, at a chainsaw, it's impossible to get your transfers too big. contrary to public opinion. Dennis Constantine says, Sunday morning is pouring down. Cheers from New Zealand. How you doing? Boy, I tell you,
It's only Saturday here.
it's only Saturday. Boy, boom. The world's going in his direction faster than it is ours, isn't it? Laura Lawson Norton. Hello from Madison County, North Carolina.
I was stationed in North Carolina.
Thanks for watching, guys. Joe. Dino Joe, this is a guy that's doing these cylinders. He's helping us out greatly. In fact, he's got 2 right now. One of them for sure is going to be going in a special build for Buck and Billy. You can imagine what we're doing.
Link, link.
All right. Bigger pistons that are lighter than OEM. When you take a windowed piston and compare that to pistons that don't have these windows, weigh them. And in this case, what I'm doing with a 66 Magnum, see how short them skirts are? That gets light real fast. It gets light real fast. And you'll be dumbfounded. You'll end up with a piston that's comparable in weight to a 50 millimeter stock bore 372 when you go to this kind of stuff. Okay, now you can take a 272 piston and put it in 52 millimeter big bore steel. You got to take 42,000 or something off the top because it's a shorter stroke. Pin position is different. I don't remember exactly, but you end up making it kind of like a bigger dome. I buy a dome piston and make just a little bigger. And now I've learned to cut the top just about 15 thousandths. East Coast Aussie, how you doing? Russell Steele, all from Northern Ireland. Beautiful country up there. Mike Fry says it's a beautiful day to run saws. Tomorrow's running saw day. Today, I tell you what, I felt like I didn't want to really do a lot today. And I really wanted to touch base with you guys and tell you how much I really care that you're here. David Dodog. Hi, Harvey. Hope you all well. Yeah, we're good, man. And thanks, Dave. Dave's from Ireland. We got a lot of people from Ireland in here today. Tim Barton says when his equipment's down, talking about skidders, he says his anxiety keeps me from getting good sleep. It does, doesn't it? It does. But I'll tell you what, once you lighten your wallet far enough, you can keep them running. That's the darn truth. Frank Z. He wants to know if can you put one ring on a 2-ring piston. Absolutely. Just make sure it's the top ring, buddy. Top ring. I do it all the time.
There's 2-stroke secrets right there.
Less parasitic drag. Plus another thing with 2 rings, if you're going to ring the ones right up hard and you know it, you have no oil between the rings, none. So you'll get slightly more wear in your ring lands and your piston. But if you notice, if you got lucky enough to take the old single ring 371s apart, the saw could be absolute toast. And them ring lands are still good. That's why I started doing it. Passing it along. Hello from Ohio. How you doing? Okay. Chad Henwood's Chainsaws, Woodworking, Boat Racing. He says, I'm just going to call you Chadwood. Chadwood. That'll work. He wants to know what blowdown means and how does it help. Okay, here's blowdown. Straight away, the right from the book. Get the 2-stroke manuals and you'll see it. Once your exhaust opening should take that reading, let's say it opens at 104. You take from there to where the top of the piston clears the transfer and it starts opening the transfer. Let's say it's 134. That'd be 20 degrees of blowdown. It's the blowdown is the difference from exhaust opening to the opening of your transfers. Nay Olmsted, it's funny you should say that. You want to see if I'm going to do some crazy work to the 44 I do with 372s. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got it in the works. They were a really good saw. They're a fun saw. They need a little torque, more torque. That's one thing. They had to be real sharp. Boy, they had the RPMs of 44s dead. Chris Beck, I'm glad to be live, buddy. He said it was good to see me live. BFB Workshop. It's got a G372 XP Pro, 50 millimeter with single ring. Yep. They're the Meteor top end. Are they Meteor? Aren't they? They don't say Meteor on them, but they look like it. And they are single ring.
Barb says you're going to need some coffee.
What's that?
Barb says you need coffee.
I need coffee. Just give me a second.
Slurp.
Jason Reese wants to know, what is a 5-horse piston in millimeters? 5-horse watt piston. Was it a chainsaw? Is that what you're talking about? Well, we got a lot of people in here. I'm really surprised. We got 15 thumbs up. Is that what we got? Guys, get them thumbs up. Let's get this algorithm rolling. Razor Edge Saws. Hey, how you doing, Razor Edge? Nate Olmsted. Razor Edge Saws. Have you got a channel too? I'm going to show you something pretty. And I apologize for not getting this done. I tried so hard to get Odie Horses 66, it's MS660, done. I tried so hard. Oh, this runs. If you can start it. Two things. The compression is way too high, and it's got way too much horsepower to go along with it. I just straight away it is. So I'm going to save this cylinder for a personal saw. Sooner or later, we'll figure out we're going to build a hot build of some sort. I'm going to get this where he can actually start the darn thing and be reliable, because I know that with the horsepower it's got to have 15. It'll just wear itself out quick.
We also got another special little surprise for you there, Audio on. You'll know what it is when you get the saw.
That's right, by golly. We're going to get the saw to him as soon as I can. I am in the middle of the 66 stuff right now. Mark Johnson. Iron Cat is no longer with us. A few months ago, he came running across the street because he seen me go to the shop, and a car going about 70 whopped him. And that's that. Dirt Road Landing says, hi, Colin.
How you doing, buddy?
Your 281's that way too, Trevor. That's what happens, isn't it?
How many of you have an 084? How many of you guys actually have one? I'm interested to see that.
Is that on here?
No, I just...
Oh, 084. I heard
you don't see him around, you know? You just
Eric Nelson's got one.
I don't know if it's a regional thing or what it is, really.
Mark, the Iron Cat wasn't just a cat. He was also a dog. He'd follow me around.
He didn't care if he started a chainsaw up right next to him. He didn't care. He liked it.
J. Chris Beck says, Siren Kitty's on the back. No, this is
Jessie.
This is Jessie. She's crazy.
She's the man killer.
She can whip 2 tomcats all at once.
Easily.
And that's not a joke. And you ought to listen to her scream. It'll just curdle your blood. Yeah, Kurt, I can't catch them all. I'm trying hard to do this. 230E, out hunting. Two-stroke fan. That's why we're here. We like two strokes.
There's also a bit of a lag time between what he's seeing on his TV here and when your comments are coming up. So you might have to just give him about a full minute probably in between.
Man time. Thank you so much. BFP, I'm going to answer your question in just a second. And I'm going to clear this all up once and forever on that blowdown where it's easy to understand.
Man time, that's a cool name.
Yep. I get to follow your channel. I'm going to be watching more and more. I see you put out some pretty nice. I like that video on how to not catch your baler on fire.
That's good information.
No, that's smart.
Yeah, definitely.
People don't think that can happen. Boy, it can.
Yeah.
Okay, BFP workshop. Blowdown.
Doesn't everybody have a
As now, there to every set of rules, there's exception to the rules, guys. I want you to know that. Obviously, the blowdown is the difference from when your exhaust opens to where your transfers open in degrees. Some people think that a 14, 15, 16 degree blowdown makes your saw run better at 70 cc's. No, don't. As your cc's increase to your saw, if your exhaust pressure hasn't dropped all the way or farther than what your crankcase pressure is, you got a couple pounds in your crankcase, 3, maybe 4, depends on the saw. Let's say you got 6 pounds of pressure left above that piston of exhaust, and you got 3 pounds coming up. Where's that exhaust going? It's going down them transfers. Or let's say it's right there on the ragged edge. You have to have fresh air fuel push the exhaust all the way out. Part of that goes into the muffler. When the piston changes direction, there's a bounce. Just before it does, there's a bounce back. Part of your air fuel mixture comes back in. When your transfer is open too early, you're contaminating your charge. So volume. When you get to the point where you're getting so big with your pistons, open them a little later and a little later, okay? Because I want the pressure wave from the expended exhaust to be all the way reduced before them transfers open. So I have a clean charge come in. Smaller saws can run lower transfer timing. 20 degrees is kind of the lowest I go personally. You can get, I'm going to tell you what, you can do low blowdown. You got a bench ring zinger. You can, it just ring zing. But it doesn't have as much torque if you're mixing exhaust charges. You have to be honest with yourself. Sneak up on it if you guys start playing with that. Jamie Barkenspider, thank you so much.
He's got 2 084s, huh? Maybe it's more of a Europe thing. I don't know. Interesting.
That's crazy.
It's interesting.
Jeffrey Helm.
Thank you, brother.
I might be getting a milling machine sooner than we think. I'm going to tell you what, that's going to change things. If I get a mill,
you watch what he makes with it.
You're just ain't going to believe what you're going to see. There's been in comments. People's wanting to know, well, aren't you to the point, Harv, where you need to start building your own billet cases? All right, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. That's why I'm doing live.
Not this cat, another cat.
Yeah, a different cat. Not this crazy thing. What I'm going to do is design, and I have already done part of it. It's a lot of work. And I'm going to design my own cases, crankshaft, the whole engine assembly. Okay? I want to make these saws work better. I know these saws, but I want to be able to take different saw manufacturers' parts. Gas. Let's say I got a favorite gas tank or favorite position for the on-off switch. I like this cover better. I like how this handle mounts, but not that. Can't we take about 5 different really good working points on these saws, build our own cases, build the stuff, and be able to create a better chainsaw? I need a milling machine, and once I get it, you're going to see it done. But you're going to see a lot more than just that done. It'll open things right up. Scott Wilson, how you doing, buddy? Nate Olstein needs an old 64. You and the rest of the world. That's where it started for the big steels. In my eyes, was the 64. One of those slouts. Really haven't. No, Tim, we didn't see the 84s around here. We never seen them. 66 mags in the steel we seen. 394s. Yeah, Jeffrey, it is. Appreciate it. I mean that. I really do. This one's good. Melded Piston Performance. I love it.
Good name, brother.
I want the metal ones. Yes, I ran Eric's 084. Beautiful saw. They go for big dough, bud. I'm going to miss some of you. If I did, just keep right on going back in the comments. Kurt Steele. It'll be the best fall ever made. Iron Horse badass chainsaws. Full custom. I am doing it. I have the design. I'm telling you what I don't like about chainsaws. Compared to other dirt bikes, there's 2 things. Too short for builder. If you're still here, chime in the comments. The rods are too freaking short in chainsaws. The transfers are too small. Okay? That's the 2 things. And they don't, other than these Pioneers, come with case-fed transfers. Case-fed transfers is where it's at. If you got, with reeds, if you got reeds going in your intake and a window and a piston like this, that's way good stuff. I want case-fed right from the factory, right from jump. I want it right. To me, Slick, Iron Horse, would you build my Farmer Tech 372? Buddy, I wish I could. I am backed right up, slammed. How about we just teach you to build your own? See, you can buy a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish and he can feed himself. So let's go down that road. Are you capable? Bill Block. Bill Block's my friend from Australia.
Hey, Bill, what time is it where you are right now, buddy?
14 hours later than this year. Thanks, Bill. How's your dad, Bill? Is he home yet? Bill's dad is a crusty old bugger. Boy, I get a charge out of them too on WhatsApp. Oh, God, they're funny. Cooking Romance. Love the Pioneers P-Series. I'll tell you what, them are cooking little saws. They really are. And when you get into them and tickle them, Kurt, I want a saw that isn't over to the top on horsepower. That's not what I'm going for, buddy. I want longevity. I would like to keep it light. Let's see how that works out for me. But I'm going to tell you what, oh, heck with it. Why am I telling you all this? You know that. I want to see 20 horse in a freaking chainsaw. 20 horsepower. And Dino Joe's the guy that if I think I got it, can tell me if I'm lying to myself. It's 7 a.m. at Bill Block's house. What do we have for breakfast, Bill?
Yeah.
I got a saw right up here. I've been trying for 2 freaking years to build for Bill Block. When you right there see, right there, it's very expensive to ship a saw to Australia. I wanted to start with as good a one as we can find. We got him a good one. I just got to get it done. I've been promising him, and the channel's taking care of it. It's not, but it's the way it is. Oh, it's me, Slay. He says the 372 is built. I just wanted the Iron Horse. He wants to horse it up. Man, but if there's some of these guys, I've got one guy saw. I've been here 3 freaking years because it's a problematic. You can't cuss.
What was that word again? You were gonna say
it come out my ear. That word did.
I had to swallow it.
I'm slower than deaf. I'm and I apologize for that, but life keeps getting in the way. Straight away, it's the way it does. And maybe next spring. Let's see what next spring brings us. Mama Taz. She's in the house. Tasman's wife. Nice lady. I bet she's a good cook, too. Dan McCann wants to know if my salad dressing recipe video is in my to-do list. Yes, it is. I haven't been making a lot of videos, as you know, because I got slammed. The work thing. But now, it's my time. Pretty much. Not all of it. We're going to do some cooking videos. I have some excellent salad dressing recipes. Being diabetic, I had to learn a lot of things. And the first thing I learned is you got to eat a lot of green stuff, and I mean it. Well, then you think, well, John, I'm just going to eat a big old bowl of salad for lunch. We'll throw on the Catalina or the Thousand Island or whatever. Read that bottle. Oh, yeah. So you go on and you look up recipes and you try them. It's like, well, that got my mouth. Anything is good for you tastes like poo-poo.
The grass clippings didn't help, though, did they?
So I had to figure out a few salad dressing recipes for my tossed salad that I really liked that was good for me. And I did it very successfully. There's a whole lot. I'm going to write a cookbook. At some point, I've got a cookbook of my own about that thick. I'm going to write a cookbook of all my favorite stuff. And I'd like to be in a position just to, you request it, I can mail it to you. I want to do that next year, guys. Not all of it's healthy, but what ain't healthy and what's going to kill you early is really, really good.
If you don't like chicken wings, you don't like it.
I make good wings. Good fish. Colin says my Southern Fried Chicken's better than KFC. Any more of that wouldn't take much, would it?
Yeah, right.
Okay, getting back to you guys. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. Chad wants to know why they don't put reeds in saws anymore and how they help when they were. It's expensive, much more elaborate. It would add $150, $200 to saw. I know, look at the price of a 500 high steel. What reeds do, it's nice to have the intake open as early as you possibly can open it. You have, out of a 360-degree rotation, you have, theoretically possible, 180 degrees, that piston's going up, that you could pull air fuel in the bottom of that crankcase. But you know what would happen at 180 degrees? No, don't do it. It doesn't work. By the time that piston came back down and closed, the majority of it would be back out in your freaking air filter. What reeds do is allow air from the carburetor to go one way. When the piston stops at the bottom dead center, and the reeds close. Okay? When it goes back up, the reeds open. It's pulling air through the reeds into the crankcase. I'm at top dead center. When it's going down, that's pressurizing that crankcase to get the air fuel up to transfers. These reeds block. Watch, you can blow through them. You can't suck through them. It's just the way it is. It's a one-way valve. I know Maybe we ought to freaking manufacture them. I'd probably get 2 built a year, wouldn't I? Oh, Jason. Babaloo says he uses KFC for a laxative. I'm with you, brother. Dave Slinger, how you doing, buddy? Brian Schmidt says, being a butcher, I don't know if I could live without a beefsteak. Guess what, Brian? When I was high school and last 2 years, I worked at the local supermarket after school and Saturdays part-time as a butcher. I cut meat. And guess what?
We still do.
I eat just as much beef as I want to because I don't bother my blood sugar down.
We went and got a meat saw. We cut it in bulk.
Oh, yeah. Dirt Road Landing likes his steaks. Well done.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Hey.
What the heck?
I'm going to tell you how I like my steaks. This is not a joke. I want one good moo left in them. And I want it charred on both sides.
Medium rare and charred.
Takes
for me.
5 minutes. Boom, boom. That's if it's that thick. We've done that too.
Yeah, it's like a roast at that point.
He's thinking of putting a 372 Weisco and a 50 in his 372. That's straight away. If you're talking 272, well, it'd be 268 piston. You got to save about approximately 40 thousandths off it. Now, Dave, you got to have that beef, man. Remember that commercial, that old lady?
Where's the
beef? Yeah,
it's in our freezer, that's where.
Cedar, hey, Harvey from Hilton. Okay, I've seen you in the comments an awful lot.
I think I've been there before.
Nate Olmsted, thanks for stopping in. I'm glad you're here. We'll see you next time. Felon E-Bite, build me a saw, Iron Horse. I can't even build me a saw. You can contact me if you want, but right now, I can't even. April, May, you can get a hold of me, ironhorsechainsaw@gmail.com. I do not get a lot of emails. I keep dumping them, and it keeps filling right back up. Our phone's the same darn way. And I've learned how to do it where I can sort these emails out easily. I just haven't done it yet. Well, I say, Tim Barton says, still mooing. Yeah, Tim would like my steak. Beef, it's what's for dinner. What do we have for dinner? What did Barb say?
I don't know. She hasn't made anything yet.
Last I knew, she was in there canning pumpkins.
Canning pumpkins.
I didn't want to get tangled up in all that.
Mm-hmm.
No, too much skinning, too much screaming. And I'm not talking about the pumpkins. Well, it's a good cup of coffee.
I told her to give you the pre-brew, the good stuff.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Hey, I got the
It's
high
made full.
octane right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of good people out there building, and believe it or not, there's probably more out there. It's not on YouTube that's damn good builders than there is. And there's a lot of. I like watching some of the smaller channels because they're really, really getting some good content out there. And I love watching people just nicely getting into porting chainsaws because, I mean, sometimes it's, oh, well, that was easy. Then the next one is the throes of death. Be prepared for that. Tim Barton overdosed on apple pie.
Read Nikki there.
Nikki, how you doing, bud?
A little bit of short notice there, Nikki. Next time we'll get you on there, bud.
I want Nikki to be a moderator.
I'm pulling security here.
Cole's over here with a baseball bat in the meantime.
I'm going to bop him in the head if he says something.
How many of you guys got street bikes out there? A bunch of you? I want to show you something. Bellhopper, I think, has got enough time. He's been doing some pretty good saws. Fab Acres. How you doing, buddy?
How's it going, bud?
What's shaking? All kinds of things shaking. We've got Yes, Shane Martin. Can I port a weed eater? Yes, you can. Most weed eaters are gutless pigs.
See you later, Kevin. Have a good day, bud.
Take care, Kevin Maxim. Thanks for being here. Port that crap out of it. Do a base gasket delete. Jack that compression up. Be sane with your timing numbers. The smaller the saw. You watch them numbers. Don't get hog wild. You know the deal. Babalu, 3/4 of the way done. Actually, if I give me about 2 hours, we can start that bugger up. It's ready to fire. It's ported. But you'll see it soon on the channel, buddy. Chris Beck says I has urge to crank up 372 again. Yeah, do her, man. Run right outside. Do it right in your living room. That'll impress the wife. Womp Womp 9. I like that Womp Womp. Howdy. Hi, buddy. I'm going to take you guys outside a minute. You want to go outside and see Future Project? Babalu wants to see it. All right. Let me see if I can do this. You ain't going to believe it. You really ain't. This is 1970, 68 to 70. It's a jacuzzi. I couldn't believe it. We was looking at it earlier. My father used to own this. He's gone now. And one cylinder's wore out, one ain't. One of them work, one don't. There, that one works. It just kind of wops. You know what I'm seeing right here, guys? I'm seeing a 250 frickin' dirt bike, motocross bike with reeds. Two of them. What do you think? Air compressor ain't nothing but a two-stroke backwards. That's all it is. Now I'll tell you a little bit about it. Hey, he's getting nice out going. Okay, let me set you down. Okay, I know what people are thinking. Why? Because we can. I don't have a street bike anymore. And I do 2 strokes. So, that would give me, for all intensive purposes, using 2, let's say 2 CR250 or Yamaha YZ250 or anything, whatever works the best. Cylinders to give me 500 cc's. If I did 2 490s on the second bore, that'd give me 1,000 cc's. Yeah, 86 Honda 250R. You got it right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, turn them cylinders sideways. Exhaust comes out to the left. 2 carbs out to the right. Simple. The ignition's not a problem to do. I want to use a Harley Davidson transmission. And I kind of looking at the belt drive. I kind of liking that. And then I would have electric start if I used a newer one. What do you think of that? Oh, it's going to be problematic. The crankshaft in them generally is they have a bolt-on rod, which I would expect. So I'm going to have to cut that rod journal off for the big end of the rod. We're going to have to put dirt bike rods in it. So that means we're boring the crank, building a new crank pin, and hardening it, of course. That would get me 2-cylinder swinging. It's sealed up. It's a 2-stroke. They fire just an odd order is what it is. Nicky Walsh, RD350. I used to have one of them. A Banshee motor on a motorcycle frame. There's a guy here that did that. It was pretty impressive, but he never stopped building that motor. Art Patron Forever. He says, can Reeds be retrofit located in the heat spacer block between carburetor and intake fans? Look at what you got. Realize you got to take the timing out of the intake and put a window in your piston. Yes, that works good. I think Nikki's asking me, I had a 350. I don't know. I missed something here. All sport bike. Dan Kerfman. How you doing, Dan? 440. I've never seen one. Nate Olmstead wants to know what happened to John's Custom Saws. He hasn't been posting a video lately. I figure the guy's probably got real busy. That happens once in a while. Oh, okay, Nick. I got you, buddy. Smitty, the best thing you can do is get a bigger reed cage if it's possible. Otherwise, you have no choice but to go thicker, because if you're high RPM, them reeds ain't closing. It's just like having a freaking intake valve that ain't closing because the springs are too light at high RPMs. Dirt Road Landing wants to know why Lucas makes some semi-synthetic two-stroke. Yes, they do. That Dirt Road Landing, that's kind of a funny question, because quite honestly, in a chainsaw, I'm not big on synthetic oil. I like running a Sabre. That's what I do. Amsoil Sabre. But let me show you something. We had two lads. I'm building a 66 mag, one of the short case ones, for a local guy. And they're always bringing me something. They brought me a gallon of this. Now, when I was out cutting with them, I filled my saw with this, and I liked it. Now, I didn't buy this. They gave that to me. So I think I'm going to make good friends with them. You know, you feed a stray dog, you might end up feeding him a long time. Jason Reese wants to ask a question. If you balance and blueprint a saw, would it take away some of the vibration? Two strokes don't have the balance issues four strokes have, first thing. But if you do balance one, it's a lot of work, but it can be done. I did balance years ago an 066 short case one, and I gave that to my buddy Slammer. And I'm going to tell you something. It turned a rough running saw into something quite smooth.
You got it.
I missed it. Seether. Thanks, man. I'm going to put that right in the mill money fund. Okay. 3120 is a good milling saw. They're heavy, but if you put it on a sawmill, if you're running them sawmill, chainsaw mills, keep them just slightly rich. Keep them RPMs down. Give them a break once in a while. That motor needs to just let them idle and cool. See you later, Chris. Chris Beck's leaving. Nate, thank you. Yep, Chippy's ATV. I watch your stuff, man. Yeah, that does smell good. I'll tell you something that smells good. You take can on my steps, would you please?
The big one?
Yeah, that 5-gallon can. I'm going to tell you something that smells good. Babaloo wants to know if we ever run bean oil. What he's referring to is the castor-based oil. Castor-based oil for 2-strokes is for high RPM racing. It works good in chainsaws. What it will do sometimes is make coke up, a lot of carbon in it. So if you're trail riding, don't do it in your bike. Okay, this stuff smells good. This smells real good. The VP 110. Them lads I'm building that chainsaw from brought me that. And that's why I'm saying you feed a dog. Stray dog. Smitty runs Super Technoplate. If that's working for you, good. Tim, that Klotz with nitro additive, you put this in the VP, it's crazy. It is. Does Ipon 2-stroke oil work in sauce? I don't know. I've never heard of it. Yeah, but that's right. If you're running nitrous and you're getting heavy compression with your nitrous, and that happens, higher octane the better. Slower burning. Needs just a little more ignition advance. Okay, it's in Europe. I don't know anything about it. Slacks runs 91 with Motul 800 synthetic. Motul is a good oil. I have used that. Yeah, John W. Yeah, if you don't shake up the castor, the actual racing castor oil, it'll settle out. Kurt runs 110 and it's 450. You don't have any trouble with that either, do you? You notice it runs a little cooler in it? It's good in them sleds, ain't it, Jody? He runs it in the sleds too. Good job. I like Klotz because I love the smell of it. Yamalube is a damn good oil. It is really good oil. You pay for it, but it's worth it. Husqvarna HP full synthetic mix. I don't run any steel or Husqvarna oil. When you buy an oil from a manufacturer, I want you to think about this. It's not very good oil. Do you think somebody wants to sell you chainsaws and give you something that keeps your saw together forever? I think not. You can buy the Klotz additive, nitro additive. There's one that's real good for 2-strokes and one isn't. I forget which one's which. Now, yeah, 947. John wanted to know what that racing oil was that's castor based. It's 947. Tim says it right. Husqvarna oil is like water, and it is. And the steel. See, Tim's right there. See, he's a logger. He knows. You know how he learned this? Just like the rest of it, the freaking hard way. Retired welder. He's been here since the beginning. How you doing? He's from Maine. Did you get any of that snow that came through there last week? Mike Colligan, Red Line. That's a damn good oil. There's a lot of good oils. But there's a way more that aren't so good. Mark Jaldry. I hope I said that right. Hi, buddy. Will Coventry. Hello from Ireland. How you doing in Ireland, Will? Passing it along. Blendzall Green Label Castor. I haven't heard of it. I wonder where I can buy that. I'd give it a shot. We have a few things that coming up that's going to need, I do want a castor-based oil. But, yeah, you said it right, Tim. You get the piston wear. They want that. That's what I'm saying. You think these chainsaw dealers or the manufacturers going to produce something that keeps your saw going forever? No. Slacks agrees. He's had a bad experience with it. Yeah, it's the way it is. People that run saws for a living, if you're making a living on power saws, you learn everything not to do first. Ain't that right, Slacks? Red Armor, Dan McCann says, good. That's another good one. Shroom Saw Shop. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Chippy's ATV says he run the Lucas semi-synthetic for years. On a saws and augers. Switched to Amsoil Saber. Eric Nelson, my logger buddy there. You see him in the comments earlier. Gave me some to try, and I'm gonna tell you what, I haven't looked back since. That's all I run. Amsoil Saver. That's what I run, Jody Gallant. Now I run mix my oils 40-1. Amsoil Saver is the only oil. Well, 80 of the premium oils are probably the same way. 50-1's fine.
Yeah.
We mix 40-1 for one reason, because we know we can run 40-1 in all these dirt bikes we have. Okay? So we have one gasoline with one mix oil it just covers everything.
You could get specific for just bikes or just saws or anything else we have.
But then we got cans of gas sitting around. And
different recipes.
Tired Welders wants a little 562 done. Anybody Port Auto Tunes? I don't touch them with a stick. How about a 10-foot pole? Slacks. He says that this guy knows what he's talking about. He said it's true. The tricks to get out of your novice phase alive. That first year that you make a living, I don't care if you're logging, cutting firewood, or you're doing arborist work, climbing, whatever. If you can get through that first year, you probably are going to make it.
That's with anything, I think. Even what I do, if you can make it through the first year without quitting.
Chippy's ATV. They say you can run it at 100-1.
Yeah.
But don't that scare you? I'm gonna take some. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do that test.
That's what the Mako manual says for the Mako.
My Mako 500 came from Germany. Somebody's in the military brought it over. So it's an 85, first year of the water cold. And my manual's in German, but in the very back it's in English. And it says, if you are going to use Mako's mix oil, this is at 85, mix it 100-1.
Tell them what else it says. Spoiler, there might be a curse word coming up, so what?
Okay. If we got children,
we got some Mako questions. Everybody see there, so.
Where?
Right there. When are you going to take the Mako out first, Ben?
Let's do it right now.
Yeah. So what's the manual say on buying parts?
We're going to get a ride in. We haven't had a ride yet this year. Okay, Mako manual says. Now this is a quote, so it's not a cuss word. It's deliberate.
Literally, it's in the manual.
Yeah,
just like that.
The manual says, and I should at some point show you. And it talks about buying genuine Mako parts because, and if you use shit parts, you get shit results.
And it literally says that in the manual.
In the frickin' Mako owner's manual.
Yep.
Brian Schmidt, let's find something and just try it. I'm going to try it. And we'll turn it right up. Let's just see. Highline Tree, Lucas semi-synthetic at 32-1. It's probably smoky at 32-1. But there's one thing about it, it's getting lubricated.
Spray some Pam cooking spray in the car.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
Tim Barden says, good oil is cheap insurance. By God, you're right, Tim. You really are. You're dead right.
Yeah, see what used motor oil does to it.
Yep. Dirt Road Landing. You guys are tickling me. He says, pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Boy, there's a lot to that, isn't there? It we need to go out and get some cutting videos. I really do. We have a tree guy we met at that tractor pull. Uh, that he's always cutting up some big stuff and all. And he invited at the same time we want. We have two different logging companies that said just pick the phone up, come up, cut. I'm trying to get into that mode, into that groove where we can do that.
So let's talk about the next year. What's coming up next year, Dan?
I haven't even got through this year yet.
Just about, barely. It squeaked by.
Next year, there's one thing. After being locked down for 2 freaking years, I'm like a dog off a leash, man. I'm going to run around the yard. I want to go traveling. I do want to do some traveling. I want to meet some of you guys. That's one thing. We have some really fun builds to do, personal builds. I'm working out this Husky 372 thing all the way. We're going to end up going all the way to 100cc with them, is what I'm going to do. Okay. But that's not where we're stopping. We're going to hit the 266 to 272 series. I'm going to take a 359 and just see how big we get it. That's smaller. Let's try that. Steels. Steel's got some things that you can do to like the 044 and 046. Let's bore and stroke some of them. Let's just do it. Let's get it off the hook. Gonna build as soon as we get a mill. We're gonna build that air compressor motor into a 2-stroke and build a bike with a Harley 4-speed transmission. Colin bought a wrecked Yamaha R1 crotch rocket.
1,000.
1,000 cc's. We're going to put twin turbos on that. We're going to build a motor from scratch. Do twin turbos. And we're going to, from scratch, build our own UTV with the things we like about UTVs. And there's some things that they don't do to them that we're going to do. And we'll probably find out why, won't we?
Or they usually have weak differentials and steering.
The fun thing that we're going to do today, well, yeah, I wish it was today. I picked up from my neighbor a Cub Cadet 106 riding lawnmower. Now, you guys know I used to race Super Pro drag racing, Winston Cup, NHRA. We got one motor left. It's a 496-inch big block Chevy. We detuned it and put it in my pickup truck. We detuned it down to 820 horse. Now, if we put the Brodix heads back on and go to the big carb and everything, and that still had to run 950. We're over 1,000 horse. I am going to put that on that 106 Cub. Hydrostatic, though. I'm going to do hydrostatic. I don't want to get out in the middle of the road and start pulling donuts and have something bad happen. I figure I'd at least break some. I'm going to put a rag joint in the hydrostatic drive, so if I do get stupid, the darn thing will just bust off. You know what I mean? Pro Charger? John, you can. You can run superchargers. I got a supercharger and a turbocharger sitting right here. Pro Chargers, most of them would be a bit much. Chippy's ATV. What I've got is the big Brodies. They're not a street head, obviously. I do want to put it back in the 1,000 horse trim now. Put it on that mower. And you get one of them big blocks with them Brodix heads and in a 1050, oh, you got it. It is a lot of fun. Art Patron Forever. Triangle laminated Tygon fuel line. It has a Teflon lining. It looks like good stuff. Where did you get it? I'd like to try it. I raced, Jody wants to know what I raced. I raced a 1968 Chevy 2. Nova. 2-speed Power Glide trans brake. You know what I had, don't you? MSD. I used the 6AL with two-step. Add the button. Corey Miller wants to know when I'm going to start showing these cranks. Okay, I'll tell you what I did. I just have to have something laying right here. Pull a long bar with a half-inch chain on that. Man, that would scare me. I have a crank right here. I've had bad luck with local machine shops. I don't have a mill. Now, what I have done is we've pressed it apart, welded it up. I'm offsetting this 372 crank. I'm offsetting this 1 millimeter, which makes 2. It's going to be a 38 millimeter stroke. I tell you what I've decided to do. I didn't want to do this, but I am building the fixtures for my lathe that I can offset that and bore them right on a lathe after I weld them, press them together. And just as soon as we can get to that, it won't be next week because I got to get 4 saws done. I got a Blue Thunder here I want done, Odie Horse's saw, stuff like that. Ryan Z 302 Chevy in my S10 at 9,500 RPMs with a 2-speed, 4,200 converter. Ryan Z, I'm going to show you something. Over on that 496-inch big block Chevy, and you're not going to get there this way. There's a piston, about you big round with a dome on it, on that motor.
That stand?
Yeah, it's on the stand.
There's a piston there?
Yeah, there's a piston. Okay. I'm going to show you something. BFP Javelins, sure do. I remember them. I had all the muscle cars, all of them. Ryan Z, I'm going to show you something you're going to get a charge out of. I have 2 302 Chevys. Okay? I just want you to know that. One of them is brand new in a crate factory replacement motor. I bought it way back from a pickup. It was an unknown motor from a dealership that went out of business. And my buddy was helping me. He was going to, on a Saturday, help me put that motor in. I'm pulling the motor, got it all the way out, and he's untrading it. He says, Harv, he says, what did you say about them aluminum intakes with a snowflake? I go, oh. He says, what's that? 302 Chevy. This is a 12.5 to 1 piston for a 302 Chevy. Those of you that know, you can recognize that pin, the pin position from the top. Okay? I have the hats. I've got the complete motor, but it's got a broken block. I do have a 350 block that I can put all my parts in, okay? That's what I can do. And I just might go ahead and run this. Now, what I have is the correct heads. They're 291s. But they were built way back by Crane Cams. They're special. The exhaust ports are oval. They bought the factory castings, ported them. Some of you guys, you old guys, will remember what some of them heads. AMC 490. Wasn't it a 430? It had a 390 and a 430. Babalu, 327 and a 283 crank. Guess what? Let's talk old school, where the real fun is. They were small journal motors, is what he's referring to. That means it didn't have as heavy of a crank or as big a bearing. You could take them 327 small journals, put a 283 crank in that, buy a 302 piston. You had a 302, buddy. That's the cheap way, and they're lightning fast. Anybody that's ever built one will tell you that. They were fast. 302 was a solid performer. Tim, ain't they, though? Now, when you got a 64cc head, that dome is all that's in that head. They didn't even leave room for air fuel mixture. I got the cam. I've got something you'll never see. You remember they built a 302 Chevy in 68 was the first year to race in SCCA racing against them Fords. It was a 5-liter class, okay? Chevy says, okay, Ford's dominating, we got to win, because that's the way they were back then. They rolled like that. So Edelbrock, they went to Edelbrock and had Edelbrock make a few intakes for SCCA. The carburetor sat side by side right over top of the valve covers. Any guys remember them? I heard that 5 they just scrapped. One's in a museum. And way back, one got stolen off one of the factory SCCA cars in a parking lot in Virginia. I don't know that for a fact. It's something I did read a long time ago. And somebody took the intake. I bought that intake for $10 at a yard sale. And I knew what it was. I MIG weld the cranks, Corey. Don't let a lot of heat build. You got to have penetration. Don't let a lot of heat build because they're hard to machine. You will work hard on that. Rangy's got a 327 out of a 69 vet. He's got the 350 horse 327 is what you got. I know that motor well. Square body with a 505, Kurt. That's a lot of fun, believe me. Yep, DZ 302. BFP Workshops 390. AMC Sky Blue Javelin body. Do it. You'll never regret it. Brian Smith said with that 505 big block Chevy, he says, and he's right about this. Hey, you crawled down on that gas pedal, that gauge, that fuel gauge just does that. And it don't come back up only just a whisker in the truck. When we had that 496 in my black 4-wheel drive, we call it Ben. It's a 77 short box step side. Go back in an early video if you want to hear a big block turning $9,000. Horsepower, horse logging. You'll hear that in 820 horse trim detune in that truck in the mud. First thing is, if you do watch it, my brother was a horrible cameraman. We had 35s on it, Swampers, but they were the wide ones. Notice that where all the big trucks were going, we went in there with just 35s, and you look at that. We stayed on top. When we come out of that mud, there's no mud in them rims. I want you to notice that. Jack Pine, if you take that small Journal 327, put that 283 crank in that, buy these pistons. Well, don't buy them with that big of a dome. That's not all that fun. But get realistic and throw a good set of heads on it. You're going to have you think chainsaws turn up fast. Nikki Walsh says, hit the thumbs up, guys. Come on, let's get them going. We need that algorithm to really start working.
Listen to Nikki. He's the boss man.
That's right. Bill Block's got an F350 or 306. I seen 2 guys race when that was a brand new motor. They were both half-ton long boxes. The one guy had a 302, one guy had a 306. With a 3 on a tree. I'll be damned if that 306 didn't put that frickin' 302 Ford motor. Corey Miller. Balancing the crank when I reassemble it. Well, you talking about on these V8s? You better balance. You send it to machine shop. Knows what to do and balance them. Babalu, 425 horse is conservative. And a big block Chevy. Or big block anything, for the truth. Rainsy, trick flow heads. Around them. I like it. Now, when you pork them trip flows and you do the right thing, go roller cam and stuff, you're your boy. They're good heads. I already got the Brodix. Oh, Tim, yeah. I used to, Well, what it is, that horsepower horse logging video, that's back when I was logging with horses. You want to see my draft horses?
Yeah, we got my cousin Logan on there. He was just a little old chap. There's a big old pair of horses in front
You
of him,
tickle
man.
me, Nick. Rhinesy says, never been dyno, but we guarantee easy 500. Oh, yeah, 500 horse, a big block Chevy. That's like, say, 300 horse from a small block. It's not hard. Art patron forever. I hope I get it. I'm having trouble with emails. I'm gonna fix that. Thanks a lot.
So also coming up this next year, we're just looking into a new way of doing things, something that's going to help you guys contact the channel and be in touch with the channel even more. Okay, so we're going to look into it and see if it works for us or not. So things like these links and emails and things, it'll be a thing of the past. You won't even have to worry about that.
What else I do?
So what we're talking about for the future is really stepping up the game on allowing you guys to send little videos, pictures, comments, chat with each other about, you know, chainsaws or engines or anything else that you really want to. And it's not just going to be a YouTube oriented thing. The chat will exist all the time, no matter what. And then there will be, you know, some areas where we can put up our own special videos just on this, and you guys can see that kind of stuff other than what's on YouTube too. So it's going to allow us to touch on a lot more things that some of you may be interested or may not be interested in. I mean, there's, you know, there's dirt bikes, engines, there's anything two-stroke, snowmobiles, you know, there's all kinds of things that we can put up content about, but may not need a whole video just to explain it, you know. So there's a few moves we're looking into making this year, and we want to be in touch with you guys more. We want to hear more of what you guys think, you know, suggestions and things that, you know, to look at, questions just like this live feed here. Amazing questions. You guys are always amazing. All the subscribers on this channel, really, I mean, very good people, very knowledgeable, hardworking people. And it's amazing to see so many people getting together and just looking, you know, just talking to each other. I mean, I see you guys in here just talking to each other. That's amazing. And so what we're looking to getting into is something where no matter what time of day it is, it doesn't require us being on here on the live feed. You guys can talk to us or each other anytime you want, any time of the day, and we can see it without having to worry about an email being filled up and trying to delete things, right? And it'll be almost a thing where you can send pictures and video and anything else, and we can see that all the time, and so can't everybody else. And it's gonna take the conversations that we have here, it's gonna expand them into places we never even imagined, and it's gonna be a really good thing for this channel. And there's a few other things we're thinking about doing. Trying to get my dad to do new things. You want to talk about lead a horse to water, right? Well, you know, he's got to be thirsty first. So let's get there one step at a time. We're going to get there, don't worry. But the changes we're going to make are going to be better for everybody watching this video right now. And it's going to be a more of a link from us to you, because we appreciate you guys on this channel so much.
Guys, did he clue you in good? Good. I don't know if I'm retiring or getting retarded. Ellen Fabian. Todd Adams. DZ302 is a wild motor. They came from the factory. This is no joke. With an 850 Holly double pumper. 4-speed. And they had a tendency at red lights to just want to stall. Pump. We learned something. Readjusted cam timing, that went away. John W. Pencil leads lead. Remember, I'll tell you where I went. I went into my motor stash, and I wanted to show you something.
Uh-oh.
What do you think? Remember seeing them in Hot Rod magazine? Yep. I couldn't bring the carbs. I've got the carbs and everything. Think of that. The valve covers are actually right where my hands are. They're right there. They're close. That's going to be a fun motor to build, isn't it? Biker Benny, I had a friend of mine that got a Lincoln. And you remember them old Lincolns with suicide doors? He didn't have a motor that was any good. This a long time ago. He freaking put a C6 in that with a freaking Boss 302. And he changed the rear end. 410 gears in that. He went to the drag strip of style. And I'm going to tell you the first thing that happened, oh boy, he got laughed at. But he didn't pop the hood. And that motor wasn't stock either. He didn't pop the hood. And he run it right through pipes. But you knew there was a motor there. They laughed at him. And he made him cry. He made him freaking cry. That's me, did it. Go take a dang, go take a Lincoln and put a Boss 429 in that. A stock one would make it haul right along pretty good. But that one was pretty wild.
Nikki, my job is always lugging. That's why he keeps me around. That's why he feeds me.
Colin's my pilot. I cut the wood and he'll pilot.
I pilot.
Right, C. That's right. No, Edelbrock. With an X on it. You know what X means with Edelbrock, don't you? Experimental. That's what X means in them. They were known to blow flames, though, that intake was. So, but I know what to do. I know what the problem was. But we don't care, as long as the flames are coming out the exhaust, not through the carbs. Yeah, Nick, you got it, man. I don't have any draft horses. We got rid of them all, but, well, we got McCullen. Their road landing, them turbo V6s were actually pretty darn good. And then when you re-turboed them and cammed them, and you know where all that adds. Guys, I think we're going to wrap this up.
You still on it?
Yeah, come on in, Barb. Say hello. Come on in.
I just wondered when he's going to put hay into the horses.
Here shortly. We're going to wrap this up in a few minutes.
All right.
There's my real boss. Horses need some hay. I knew that earlier. But there's enough in there. Believe me, they're not starving. Yeah. Nikki, it's always a pleasure. I got Nikki on WhatsApp. I hear from her every little while. We share things, and that's what it is. Glad you're here, Rainsy. All of you that showed up and you're still here, thank you so much. We're going to shut this down. Sagebrush Hillbilly, how you been? How's the little baby boy? Mark Jodry, thanks for being here. All of you, thanks for being here. You super chatters, you mean the world to me. You really do. It's not necessary, though, but it's appreciated. I want you to know that. Oh, backfill the hole in the back. Oh, God, we got that done. I tore more holes. Brian, be good. Have a good week. That little boy at Sagebrush Hillbilly, he's going 100 miles an hour. He showed me a video of his little boy. Yeah, he's going to get the tools out and take apart his mama's vacuum cleaner, and I know it. There's where he's at. Kevin Z, nice seeing you in here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. I didn't know he was interested in some of the other things we do. We chainsaws is just a small part of what we actually do. We do some, I think, fun stuff. Do you want to see a Toyota 22R with a Roots blower on it? It's just damn near as big as the engine. Do you?
They don't want to see that.
I built one for Colin. We'll have to do that. I'll have to show that to you. Dirt Road Landing says, not a fan of Power Strokes. Hey, what are we talking about diesels for? You know there's a diesel shortage. Yeah. All right, guys. That's it. I don't know how to shut you off, but if I just start mashing things, that generally works. Later.